Welcome into Wager Talk TV. I am Drew Martin, joined by Andy Lang and Andrew McGinnis of WagerTalk.com. We're talking Sunday NFL action here. The Minnesota Vikings and the Baltimore Ravens here, Andy. We see it 49.5 as the total. Baltimore minus 6-point home favorites. What are you liking here, Lang?
First off, I think 6 points is just too many in a game like this. I know that Kirk Cousins, the Vikings, another lackluster performance on a primetime game, shocker. Turn around and play a Ravens team coming off just an embarrassing blowout loss to Cincinnati. So I'd expect Baltimore to be rested. Coaching staff should be dialed in. Minnesota really struggled to run the ball against the Cowboys, and they might struggle again as Baltimore only gives up 4.2 yards a carry. Their offense has really not been explosive. That's been the Achilles heel. They're only averaging 7 yards a pass attempt, and they only have 2 passes of 40 yards or longer this season. Only the Broncos and Bears have fewer. So they're really not getting those explosive plays out of Thielen and Justin Jefferson in particular. They're going to have to get big plays out of those guys, especially Dalvin Cook needs to get more involved. That's how Cincinnati beat Baltimore. Every Bengals touchdown against Baltimore was 21 yards or longer. If Minnesota can't stretch the field, could be a long day for them. Minnesota did a good job last week against the rushing attack of Dallas. However, they did give up 341 yards passing to the backup quarterback for Dallas and Cedric Wilson. Got to throw him in there. But I do think 6 points is too many. Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson together, they're only 4-3 off of a loss. So it's not like they have a track record of bouncing back huge off of these losses. Baltimore's running game outside of Lamar is pretty bad. I think this game could be low scoring. And if the game is low scoring and it comes under the total, those 6 points are really valuable. For a player prop, I really like Lamar Jackson to throw over 1.5 touchdowns. In 3 out of the 4 losses the Vikings have, they've let the opposing quarterback throw for 2 or more touchdowns. That's Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, and Cooper Rush. So I'd expect Lamar to have some touchdowns through the air. I'll take the over 1.5 touchdowns for the prop. But for 6 points, I'll take the Vikings.
Look in the Vikings and bounce back here. Both teams bounce back. McGinnis, are you liking anything here in Baltimore on Sunday?
Well, look, I'm happy that Andy said what he said about the explosive plays for this Minnesota Vikings team, because we haven't really seen much of it. You know, this is a team that's very conservative passing wise. I think they rely on short passes, conservative plays, and their run game. And one thing interesting I found about this Vikings team, every single game but one for them this season so far, guys, has been decided between one possession. And I understand, you know, we got a team in the Baltimore Ravens off the bye, and previously we saw, and Andy talked about it, that 41-17 debacle that they're trying to bounce back off of. And I'm happy Andy mentioned that stat. Obviously, it's not an automatic win. It's not an automatic cover for any team that just got embarrassed. It doesn't mean that you got embarrassed, you're automatically going to come back with a great performance. One thing I want to mention, though, the pass rush injuries to the Minnesota Vikings, I feel like that will hurt them quite a bit. They won't be able to get to Lamar. He'll have lots of time back there. And I feel like, you know, when Minnesota goes down, which I do expect them to, the conservative play style and the run-heavy offense and the lacking of those explosive plays will hurt them. So if they're not trading points with this team, I feel like it's going to hurt them big time. One thing I want to mention as well, the Ravens tied for second in the league in pressure rate at 27%. So I believe they'll cause lots of issues on the passing game for the Minnesota Vikings, making things very difficult for them. It's obviously a bounce-back spot for both teams. But off a bye here, I'm interested in looking at this Ravens team, but I'm going to back them in the first half. I'm going to get rid of the full game here, back them in the first half to have a great performance and get off to a great start in this contest. Defense has been inconsistent, but I feel like the pass rush will be there for the Ravens, and they'll cause some problems here for the Vikings. So with all that being said, I do like the Ravens. Lean to the full game, but better play for me is the first half, Drew.
All right, cut it in half, just the first. From Andrew McGinnis, we got Andy Lang as well. Check them both out, WagerTalk.com. Guys, a good day to check out WagerTalk Mondays, $9 Mondays. Every play from every handicapper discounted to just $9. Check it out, WagerTalk.com.